If you're currently learning French and you're finding it difficult, this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how you can ensure that when you're learning French, you're not making things difficult for yourself and you're allowing the French to come to you. Instead of forcing yourself into your learning, you're allowing the learning to come towards you. If you're wanting to improve your French and you're finding it difficult at the moment with your learning, you feel like you're not progressing as you want to, and things in the French language are confusing you, not making sense, and you feel like you're even, treading water, even just wasting your time with your French studies, I hope to help you out in this video. If you're new to the channel, quick introduction, my name's Rory. I'm 23 years old from Australia, and I successfully learned French to fluency in just 1 year, and that was after I failed learning French at university with Duolingo, private tutoring courses, and I successfully learned it to a year through phrases, through conversations, stories, very simple way of learning, and it's a learning method that you're able to implement as well. And I work one-on-one with serious French learners who want to do that, to firstly plan out their roadmap to French success, so where they currently are, their current French level, what they've tried previously, what they're currently trying to learn French. Secondly, where they want to be, their ideal location with their French, right? Their ideal destination, what goals they want to hit, what objectives they want to accomplish, positive emotions attached to achieving that. And then what will they be able to do once they've achieved their goals? And then finally, the third part where, my experience will be able to help the most, which is how you're going to get there. Because I know I've been able to get there and I'm able to help you out as well if you're serious about achieving your goals. So the first thing we want to establish, it sounds super simple, but it's really important because it sets the foundation for your mindset when you are learning French on the daily. And it's simply to say, and to know, and to keep reminding yourself the fact that you have English, you have French, they're two different languages. They're not the same, right? They're not the same language, because if they were, you would know both of them. You would be fluent in both of them. And once we've established that, we're able to appreciate that English will present a phrase one way and French will present the same phrase in a slightly different way. There's going to be differences. And once we've set that as a base level for our learning, it becomes much easier to learn the French, because you need to understand that for French learners learning English, it's just as hard, and if not even harder, with some of our weird grammar rules we have. And once we've understood that, learning the French can actually become more enjoyable, because we can appreciate that, hey, we're not going to learn it right away. There's going to be difficulty, and there's going to be things that we try and learn over and over and over, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't go into our brain, and that's okay, because the languages are different. English here, French here, they're not the same, because if they were, you would already know French. So that's the first thing. Recognizing that we have English, we have French, they're two different languages and they're not the same. Now the second thing is knowing exactly what we can do about it. It all comes down to your learning method. What are you doing daily to study French? Very simple. You want to merge the two languages. Now I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube on my laptop here, and I've gone through lots. I did when I learnt French to fluency in 1 year. I did prior. I still do up to today, having learnt French for 3+ years now. And I've noticed that there's not many people that really say this. And it's a simple idea, but it works very well when you understand exactly how to do it, because it becomes so simple, right? Now, how did I do it? Basically, I would have a textbook, right? It's called Assimil. I've put a link just in the description where you can see the book and you can have a look at that there. They're actually a French company. And basically they've got a book where on one side of the page you have English, on the other side you have French. Every single line item that you have for English, you have a direct translation to French. Now, what this means is every single sentence you have in English, you have the same sentence in French throughout the life of the book, throughout the whole book. And it allows you to choose if you want to read English, if you want to read French, and then if you decide to read French, well, read it, and then flick back to your English. And now you've merged the two languages. So it's simply skimming along the sentence, reading it, yep, going, okay, I understand that. That word I'm not sure about in the middle of the sentence. I look back to my English and get the word right away, and then I plug it into there and I know the full meaning of the phrase. It's filling in the gaps almost. So it's being able to see that in the sentence structure, in the phrase structure, in a conversation, in its structure, in a story structure, it's very similar for English and French. And the third thing you can do in terms of implementing, even further learning, after I spent time on that textbook for my first 3-4 months, I then moved to YouTube and Netflix. So how did I do that? With the idea of accepting that English and French, they're not the same, but let's merge and let's identify the similarities in order to boost our study and to make it as easy as possible with our learning. So YouTube, Netflix, so you've done your textbook work, okay, you've got a base level of French, base to bottom intermediate, low intermediate, and which means you can form basic sentences. You're able to understand most intermediate texts, and if you were to close your book and just listen to the audio of someone, if they were speaking slowly, you could understand, say, most sentences. That's when you can move into YouTube and Netflix, and here's what you can do. So essentially, you want to firstly identify a topic that you're passionate about, something that you're interested in. For example, me, I like history and geography. So for me, I may type into YouTube, say, Roman Empire, and I'll type it in French, so it'd be l'Empire Romain. And with that, I'd simply type that in, and then I look for videos that were short videos. So we're talking about videos that are less than 5 minutes. And I would then click through, and I'm then looking for a video where its level is exactly suited. It's not too difficult. Basically, you don't want to go and watch a video from a historian that was where the video was published in 1980 and he's using all of these fancy words and it's very boring, it's not engaging, and there's long, drawn out sentences. No, you want short, sharp stuff, which is engaging, which is enjoyable for you to watch, and which is contemporary basically, which is modern, which is new. Because with new videos, high quality graphics, it allows you to visualize what you're watching as well. So whether that be, a food and wine, a food and wine video, I don't know, what else? A sports video if you like soccer, football, any other sport, basketball, anything in French. Watch that, and basically I want to click subtitles on. So I'm going to turn the subtitles on, and essentially I'm going to break it up. I'm going to break the parts of the video up. So I'll start, now, throughout the video, we've got audio, we're reading the subtitles throughout the video. Pause every single time you don't recognize a word. Pause, look up the word. So I've got multiple screens here, and I'll have on one screen my translator app. So I use Reverso. I've got a link in the description for that as well. You can check it out. It's my favorite translation tool. I found it's really useful. 100 times better than Google Translate. Much quicker, much more accurate, because it gives you multiple translations as well, depending on the context. Because if I put in one word, it's not always going to be the same, in every single sentence. It may be different depending on the context. That's why Reverso is good as well. And you can click and you can hear the audio of the words you're translating or full phrases that you're translating. So I'd actually type in the full phrase and then get that translation straight back to me. And then I watch the video back and I see that exact phrase I've just checked in the translation, right? So bringing the English on one side to the French and then back to the English. And then I'm watching the video again, and then I can see that word that I wasn't sure of in its context. And then I understand what was said, continue on to the next sentence, and I do the same thing. If I don't recognize a word, I'll pause and I'll check. And then once I've checked what it is, put it into the translator, I'll then continue to watch the video. And then what I'll do as well is, say it's a 4-minute video. So with a 4-minute video, I'll break it up into 4 blocks. So I'll do section 1 with all the pausing, getting the words. Okay, so pausing every time I don't know a word, checking in the translator, typing in the full phrase, right, where that word, was contained. So with that, I'll do that every single phrase for the first 1 minute of the video, pause at the 1 minute. Once we get to that point, I'm going to go back and re-watch minute 0 to minute 1. I'll re-watch the whole thing without pausing this time. And then I'll do the same thing for minute 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, where I'm pausing all the way. And then once I get to the end of minute 2, then I'll go back to minute 1, watch minute 1 to minute 2 without pausing. And then I'll pause all the way from 2 to 3. You get it, right? So I'm basically making sure that along the way, I'm identifying all of those words I don't know, putting them into the translator, getting the full phrase, plugging it back in, with my brain, right, into the video, re-watching. And then after I've done that for the 4 blocks of the video, breaking it up minute by minute, I've essentially then watched 4 mini videos where I've understood every single word because I've checked it. And with the repetition as well of going back and watching it, once you get to the end of the 4th minute after you've watched it through fully, go again and just then watch the full video without pausing. I think you'll be amazed at how much you can understand. And that's the key point for this video, right? Engage yourself in your French learning. Don't be afraid to break things up into smaller blocks to allow yourself to understand it, because if things are so difficult that you're not feeling good about your study, there's no point studying, right? Not every day is going to be enjoyable with your French study. I don't want to study every day, right? But I do, because I know it's good. I've made a serious commitment to my goals, right? Which is to speak fluent French, to continue to progress my French, and to be able to help out you guys here as well. And that's just simply where accepting that English is here, French is here, you know English, you can know French if you seriously commit to your goals. Get in the daily study, watch interesting videos on your YouTube and Netflix as you want, turn the subtitles on, learn stuff, explore, right? You explore on the internet in English, why not do the same in French? 2 birds, 1 stone. And you'll be able to upgrade your French, continue your learning there. In a few months, if you implement the right learning methods with someone who can help you and knows exactly how to get you to the goals that you want to reach from where you are and where you want to be, then you can really make considerable progress with your French, move faster than you ever thought was possible, if you can find that person. Now, I believe I'm that person because I learnt French to fluency in 1 year after having numerous failures with Duolingo, private language study courses, and university even as well. And that's where, if you're looking to, seriously commit to your French, hey, first thing is just check out my videos. I'm here on YouTube and on Instagram as well. And if you're looking to, work with me one-on-one, you can do that as well, but only if you're ready to, seriously commit. And before you, book in the call in the description where we can chat one-on-one, you can go over to my Instagram, check out my content there, watch my main video on my YouTube channel where I talk about the how to achieve your French goals. It's just on my homepage there. And that's where I run through a presentation of exactly why you haven't achieved your French goals yet, and then how I can help you do so as well. If you have any questions, you can just message me on Instagram. And as I said, you can check out my content there, here on YouTube. And that's it for today's video. Now, have a terrific day, and I'll see you in the next one.